As the current arc of Dragon Ball Super comes to an end very soon, I'm happy to announce that a few days ago, we did a video addressing an interview with the editor for the Dragon Ball Super manga, Victory Ushida, addressing the current state of Super and what we can kind of expect for the future. Needless to say, this was a huge interview that basically confirmed that the Moro arc is at its climax and will be coming to an end in the following weeks. And with one story coming to a close, another adventure has to begin soon for the Z Fighters. This opens the door for so many opportunities in the world of Dragon Ball, but out of everything talked about in the interview, there was one thing that caught my attention the most outside of the news of the continuation, of course. Ushida stated that the trio of He, Toyotaro, and Toriyama really enjoy Ultra Instinct, and the name itself is really cool, saying that in the early stages of the form's conception, he'd already decided that this is the direction that they should take the character Goku now. Now with Goku having fully mastered Ultra Instinct to the point where we've seen him go from base form to mastered at will, where does Goku really go from here, and what really was the point of him mastering this technique right now? I think the answer to this question could come in the following arc. During the interview, Uchida seems really excited to talk about Ultra Instinct, and this makes me feel like Goku in this form will have a decent role to play in the coming months as we continue to learn more and more about these powers, and maybe even why Goku seems a little different from the gods. As of now, we may not know exactly what the next adventure in Dragon Ball Super will have in store for everyone. However, there is a huge asterisk over a certain part of Dragon Ball Super that dates way back to the Tournament of Power. Ultra Instinct, the pinnacle of power, was a divine technique that stunned the entire stadium during the Tournament of Power, as Goku, as we know, really did his thing in showing how impressive this new skill was. The person to not be entirely crushed by this godly power from Goku, however, was the strongest mortal and possible successor to the God of Destruction of Universe 11, Jiren. Jiren was a man fabled to be the most powerful being in his universe, even beyond that of his own God of Destruction, and this looked to be very true as he stared Ultra Instinct in the face and was the only one in the tournament to do so and not be eliminated by it. When we were first introduced to Jiren, he was a man of very few words, as most of the information about him came from Toppo and the others around him, as he was made out to be this mysteriously powerful being from an unknown region whose sense of justice grew so strong that it drove him to become the strongest warrior in existence. As Jiren went toe-to-toe with Ultra Instinct, we were in shock at how, until Goku had mastered the power, Jiren was pretty much still in this battle and looked to remain in control, and even in Mastered Ultra Instinct, Jiren's true power was very relative to the point where he outlasted Goku in endurance, partially thanks to him not having perfected Ultra Instinct though. But what drove Jiren to this level of power is the more interesting thing. Jiren's story is still very much unfinished, as is the tale of Ultra Instinct, and I think this would be one of the better ways to continue the series, continuing to answer unsolved questions and finishing character development, but how this power and Goku can help Jiren is what I wanted to make this video about today. If you guys want to check out the V-Jump interview with Victory Ushida, the link to all of the tweets from CypherDB as well as their Twitter will be down below in the description box, so be sure to go give them a follow. Don't forget to have those notifications turned on by clicking the bell icon down below to never miss an upload as soon as they go live, and if you've been enjoying all of the content recently, consider leaving a like on this video as well. It really helps to get the videos out there, guys, so likes are really the easiest way to support the channel. Be sure to follow on both Twitch and Twitter to stay up with me and all anime related content, but without further ado. In the later portion of Dragon Ball Super, we met Jiren and his comrades from Universe 11, each harboring their own formulated sense of justice with them. The Z Fighters, namely Goku and Vegeta specifically, seem to be the breaking point for both Toppo and Jiren, however, as they each abandoned some of their previous morals and succumbed to a different form of justice that they saw fit in order to survive and win. Toppo harnessed the energy of destruction during the tournament in his battle with Vegeta after being pushed to the brink, but for Jiren, the breaking point seemed much more revealing about his character. When Jiren was pushed into a corner by Ultra Instinct Goku, he took a shot at the spectators, and I feel that this moment single-handedly put a huge damper on the character, and the more we learned about him, I feel like we were pretty disappointed to learn the direction at which the character was being taken. While Goku's strength came from the will to protect those in need around him and the cherishment of his friends, Jiren was kind of made out to seem like he saw this dependency on comrades as a weakness. A lot of the community back then, and probably still to this day, didn't really agree on Jiren turning out to pretty much just be a scumbag. However, there is still something that can be done to kind of redeem this character, for lack of better words. Jiren's story was one of a boy whose parents were murdered in cold blood, leaving him an orphan until being undertaken by a master later on. Ever since we learned this, the question has been, well, who killed Jiren's parents and where are they now? Something that was never really answered in Super, and even later, we learned that this same villain later went on to defeat both Jiren and his master again, further developing this lore behind Jiren that never really paid off. With Jiren being this mortal beyond gods, obviously he and his master must be extremely powerful, so for whoever this evildoer is that not only killed Jiren's parents but defeated the two of them as well, must be the level of gods themselves, if not beyond somehow. This bit of lore is still kind of lingering over Dragon Ball Super, as is whatever's next for Ultra Instinct Goku, and I feel like the two may tie really well together if we actually think about it. The common thing I've been asking over the last couple of videos is what is next for Goku? Or where do we go from here, as he's mastered the form that even gives the gods difficulty and pretty much transcended into one himself. However it may come about, an arc in my opinion revisiting Jiren and the story of the one who killed his parents and defeated his master is a great place to begin a new saga. Now that Goku has fully mastered Ultra Instinct, I feel like the question of him being stronger than Jiren finally can be rightfully had, and maybe somehow this person that killed Jiren's parents still exists and is more of a threat than we originally thought. Assuming that this being is more powerful than Jiren, in the new arc that arrives, what if this person struck again in Universe 11, causing havoc that maybe Jiren himself can't handle? With help from the Z Fighters in Universe 7, this could give Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku some form of a purpose for having perfected this technique in an attempt to battle someone who also may be immortal beyond the gods. In typical Dragon Ball fashion, however, now that Goku has mastered Ultra Instinct, I'm sure within the next arc or two we might be seeing something that resembles a new and crazier form, but with the little bit of knowledge we still possess on Ultra Instinct, the depth of this technique I feel is much more important, and Goku having a battle against someone that can go toe to toe with it or possibly defeat it would give the writers a chance to provide much more lore for it. Remember guys, in no way am I saying that any of this will happen in the next arc, but there are still huge asterisks and plot holes, and I don't even think I wouldn't even call this a plot hole. It's just a loose end that hasn't really been fully fleshed out. One of the more interesting ones at that. Not only would all of this give Jiren a chance to further develop his character, but the entire purpose for this being still possibly existing and not having been defeated by Jiren is for Goku to test his strength and learn more about Ultra Instinct from one beyond the gods as well. Down below in the comments, let me know how many of you guys honestly forgot all about Jiren and his backstory. Also, do you guys agree with me that Ultra Instinct has to serve more of a purpose than just absolutely bodying Moro and anybody else Goku fights from now on? I definitely don't know if I'm a huge fan of another form, but being as in-depth with Ultra Instinct as they were with the original Super Saiyan form could add a ton more value to this technique, especially for possibly another character to learn in the future as well.